All right, everybody, listen up. We need some new ideas for the Pulse. You need to remember that you serve the students, the school, and the community.
Hello, ich heiße Taylor. Welcome in der Pulse.
Taylor, what are you doing there?
I was just practicing my German accent for when I want to intimidate my wrestling opponents. They call me Skull Crusher.
All right, well, we should probably try and keep it professional here. This is the Pulse. But why don't we check out this segment on the Chatham High School wrestling team?
9! A wrestling successful season, I mean, you have technically two different seasons. You have one for the individual, and you also have one for the team. For Chatham, we haven't been very good in the past, but I know for us that we're looking to get better, and we are getting better. Last year, we almost beat the town record. So for us, a good season would be essentially just beating that record, getting above 10 wins.
If we could break our win record, because we got really close last year, so if we could get past that, that would be pretty successful.
Last year we were 1 win away from breaking the school record, which is 10. We got to 9. So this year, successful would be one, getting as many wins as we can in dual meets, which hopefully would be 10 or more, and getting a lot of kids through districts into regions. And I think we have probably the best opportunity to get a lot of guys through this year as opposed to previous years. As
the years go by, I mean, we're more of a cohesive group than everyone thinks. Like, everybody on the wrestling team seems to get along with one another. So it's almost like we're not even mentoring, but we're all kind of like, I don't know, I guess brothers, you could put it. But yeah, I mean, we're all pretty close together, close-knit groups.
You know, we try to teach the kids as best we can to, you know, be a unit, not have cliques. You know, everyone gets along, everyone gets each other's back. And that starts with the seniors, and now, you know, we've been trying to implement that since the kids were seniors this year. We're freshmen, and I think, you know, that's carried on, so the kids learn that as freshmen, and by the time they're seniors, they're good leaders.
I like to think of it as more on them to do what they want to do and make their own decisions, and I'm only there to just help in any way I can. I'm not there to tell them what to do. I'm just there to help any way I can.
Personally, I don't feel any pressures. The only pressures that I would see myself having are during individual matches, actually winning every single match, because that's what they're expecting of us.
To wrestle well and have a good year.
Danny, what are you doing? We're on air. We're filming right now.
Oh, sorry about that. I was just writing some code.
Let's see what you got there, champ. Okay. Well, if you want to see how the math department introduced students to computer programming with the Our Code initiative, take a look at this next video.
Hour of Code is an advocacy activity. It's encompassed, I believe at last count, close to 22 million students who've been exposed to the idea behind programming. We started by a guy named Hadi Partovi, who runs Code.org. And Code.org is this advocacy organization that tries to promote computer science education and awareness in schools. So they came up with this idea. He recruited you know, Bill Gates and a bunch of other big figures in the computer science world. So people like the founders of Facebook and Twitter and so on were involved in helping to make some of the promotional videos for this. I am a member of the Computer Science Teachers Association, CSTA. I'm a member of the Association for Computing Machinery, ACM, which is a professional organization for computer scientists. So a lot of these organizations raised the consciousness on the fact this was coming along, and they would like participation from high school students. So I floated the idea by my colleagues. A few weeks ago, I presented to them what it was going to be about in a faculty meeting. It ended up being a pretty big deal. So we decided we'd more or less all do it, all the math teachers. You can obviously be in the web space one way or another, right? You could be designing websites. You could be doing a variety of things. I think a lot of people they get the idea that, you know, programming is this kind of overweight guy off in a corner of his cubicle, sucking down Jolt Cola, writing code 24/7, but that's actually not what a lot of computer science jobs are like.
Taylor, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to knit with that.
Well, you know what, Dan? Don't tell me how to live my life.
Okay, I'm sorry, Skull Crusher. Well, if you really are interested in knitting and helping others, you should check out the Crafts for Kindness Club.
I've always wanted to do something to help and always felt unable to do it, and this is simple. It's simple, it's easy, it's colorful, it's warm, it's a blessing to everyone who's involved. You know, from the little old lady somewhere overseas who finds a scrap of wool and sends one square, to the big groups who send many squares. They are making an equal and a valid contribution to this.
Okay, this charity actually the club has been in existence. This is the 3rd year. And last year we used a different charity, but it wasn't really working out well. So I went on the internet one day and typed in charity and knitting, and this knitasquare.com came up. And as soon as I read what they were doing, I knew this was the right charity for us. Well, the Craft for Kindness Club does not only do this. I mean, we just do any kind of crafts, really, and we try to donate things to charity. But the knitting has kind of taken off, and it works well, especially for this charity. In this one, the good thing was they had to do just an 8-inch square, which really anybody can learn to do that. You're only learning one stitch, a knit stitch, and you just have to make it 8 by 8. And it's something you can easily do, you know, sitting around talking with friends, maybe after lunch or watching TV. So it's something that's very obtainable. And, you know, this organization just needs all your 8-inch squares, and they sew them into beautiful blankets for the children. This charity is important because these children actually need blankets. I mean, imagine not having a blanket to cover yourself at night. They live in South Africa. There's millions of children who need this help, and this organization has helped thousands of children, but there's still a lot more. And this is something simple that we can do, and it makes a big difference. Okay, well, if you go to the site, knitasquare.com, you can easily see, you know, the address to mail in. And we've gotten donations from For example, Mrs. Frida's mother in Florida knit a bunch of squares for us and just sent them to us, and of course we'll take care of sending them in. We make the squares, but you can also make hats, so we've made quite a few hats. Mrs. Brantley is like a hat machine. And you can also make vests. I mean, you can really get into it. You know, one thing we need, we've got a lot of donations of yarn that's just sitting around people's houses and they're not going to use it. And that's great, but we could use more. And we need needles, especially that size, like 7 to 9 needles. If anybody has knitting needles or even crochet hooks laying around their house, you know, we could use all of that.
Well, knitting's a really great thing to do because it's so easy and just about anybody can pick up on it really quickly and just absolutely love it the minute they start. And you can make some really cool stuff with it for a lot of people.
This makes a real difference to somebody who's not warm and needs to be warm. You can make a difference in the world. It doesn't have to cost you anything. It's just a little bit of effort, and everyone can do this. Also, you do not have to be female to knit.
Okay, well, that's it for this week's episode of The Pulse.
I hope you'd enjoyed it. Narg!
Okay, well, to end this episode, we're going to show you a movie scene remake from our friends over at Video Production.
How long did it take you to grow that mustache?
A couple of days.
I wish I could grow one. You gonna eat your tots?
Nah.
Can I have them? See that girl over there? She came into my house the other day.
Why?
I don't know, but she left all this crap on my porch.
She's pretty good looking.
Do you dare me to go talk to her?
Sure.
I see you're drinking 1%. Is that because you think you're fat? Because you're not. You could be drinking whole if you wanted to. Well, I have all your equipment in my locker. You should probably come get it, because I can't fit my nunchucks in there anymore.
Where's your locker?
Hey, can I have one of your keychains?
Napoleon, give me some tarts.
No, go find your own.
Come on, give me some tarts.
No, I'm freaking starved. I didn't get to eat anything today. Oh, God. Gross. Freaking idiot. Oh.